you're keeping the investigation in-house?
Yes. So I need to finish up the Travis out, but to get to that point, and please, this is the neat part about not having a million media people. We can get back on point and have our community discussion in here. But by us having our investigation, number one, we have video, so you can't hide the facts. Number one, I just don't think when you have video, you can say something other than what occurred. Number two, I'm able to engage you like this. We're able to release the video, and we are able to have communication with the council, with the community, with the press, to have these occur. That's why I think this is important for us to do our own investigation. That is not going to happen. Next year when the DOJ comes in to do local investigations, I worry for law enforcement that they're going to lose that ability to have this communication or this contact. But that's something we have to deal out later.
Under the sheriffs.
As the individual did look at him, and so the officer fired likely because he was worried the individual was probably going to turn to fire at him. We are part of what has occurred. We were the officers that shot that bullet that took their son's life. We are responsible and accountable for that event that happened.
And what you'll see moving forward on this video is an officer with the last three numbers of 306. We will call him officer number 2. What he is showing is that he's walking up on the same side as officer number 1, and the timer shows that his time was after officer number 1. He approaches the same gun that the first officer passed, and this officer picks the gun up, and he continues to walk northbound. In the original version that's with the website, Pasadena website, the officer was asked, was that it? And he said no. He continues to walk up northbound as though he's continued to look in the street instead of near the residents' homes. And then you'll see that he raised his hand right above the camera as though he's putting something in his pocket. This video is being provided so that you, the viewer, can truly see that there is some form of corruption and conspiracy to carry out the cover-up in the Anthony McClain's investigation. What you will see at the end of the video is a slower version of the officer's vehicle driving out of a contained crime scene while there's some type of message or signal being communicated between the officers as the officer shines a light on a police SUV van driving through a contained crime scene. There was no other vehicle that had driven through the crime scene once it was contained, and certainly not within the time period of these two officers identifying the gun with officer number 1 and then with officer number 2 picking up the gun.
All of this has happened in the backdrop of the fact that we were in the midst of an intense community discussion about police oversight, both at public safety and at the council, that came in the aftermath of the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis on May 25th. For some people, the shooting that we had in Pasadena on Raymond falls in the same category as the Floyd killing, and hence the protesting and the demands for official actions consistent with that conclusion. While all of us are deeply concerned about what has happened, I'm not ready to reach any conclusion, and we're all committed to releasing as much information as quickly as we can in response to the community's justifiable demands for maximum transparency and maximum speed. If there are any specific comments that anyone feels compelled to make, I'll entertain those.
Do know so far is that the Mr. McClain was in possession of the handgun, did have it in his waistband before he took it out. He did begin to run from the officers holding that weapon, and at one point began to turn to look at the officer behind him. So the rumors of there being a no gun on the individual is completely false. Unfortunately for the community, the wrong message has gotten out. In some way, we need to shift the criticism back to the chief of police in our department to ensure we're talking about whether we should have shot an armed person during a foot pursuit or not, and not whether he was armed, nor was there several shots to the back, or whether he was laying on the ground. Now, just to say it, some may not believe it.
Keep your hands out. Keep your hands out. Come on, I got you.
Ambulance coming, buddy. Ambulance coming. Ambulance is coming.
I got you. How many times have you shot?
Hold on. Where's the gun? Where's the gun?
Okay, put your hands behind your back. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you, okay?
Hey, where's the gun?
Where's the gun? Where's the gun at? He tossed it up there.
All right.
I got him.
Okay, you got him?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going hands on.
I'm passing out.
Hey, y'all good. I got you. Keep your hands out. Keep your hands out. Keep your hands out.
Come on, I can't breathe.
I got you.
Ambulance coming, buddy. Ambulance coming.
Here, I got you. How many times have you shot?
2 times.
Where's the gun? Okay, put your hands behind your back. I'm gonna help you.
Was his
Oh, we don't know if he was turning.
Okay.
So you could see him on the video begin to turn his head, and his gun begins to fall.
So was
He's
his
turning, but I don't know how far.
Right. You don't know what his intent is. I'm not saying he was turning to do
Right,
anything.
so the debate's gonna be for us. I wanna shift the debate from no gun, shot in the back, to decide as a community, should he be a shot in that situation? I get legally, we have a complete process that occurs, right? We have a criminal investigation, a district attorney's investigation, an administrative investigation, and I did call, and the city manager agreed, that we will have an independent investigation as well. These are 4 investigations that will take place.
So who's heading up the independent?
We don't know yet, and we'll see how that works, right? Because there's always a big debate, we use Chief Perez's uncle, people don't like that, get that, completely get it. And so we have to make sure it's done correctly. So that's gonna be important for our community to feel that. But I do believe, well, let me finish. Once the 2 shots are fired and he's struck, the officers don't know he's struck.
Wait, excuse me, sir, where did the other shot? You said 1 shot?
Missed.
Oh, it missed.
It missed. And so now we have him continually running, and he is running quick. About 50 yards from that point, he tosses the gun. Number 1.
This is before he's hit or after?
After he struck. The officers don't know he struck. Fires 2 rounds and it's still going, so the officer has no idea if he struck him or not. But the officer's controlled enough not to keep on firing rounds down the street. So now you have Mr. McClain still running. He tosses the gun about 50 yards up. We do have a witness to him tossing the gun, who's stated that to us on body worn camera. So we're fortunate for that. And then about 20 yards after that, Mr. McClain either drops or he goes down and pulls himself out. I'm gonna guess he probably dropped, right? But I'm not sure which it was. And we don't know which it was. And so that's gonna be very important for us as the investigation goes on.
Sorry, just to note that my office has received many emails and comments related to this matter, and we have distributed that to city staff and to the city council. So I just wanted to make sure that you and the council members were aware.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Clerk.